Well, today is the final day of the 12 days of MLB Rankings. Now, I will say this, apologies. I missed one day in between, and you haven't gotten the relievers yet, but they'll come out tomorrow. Still sticking to the schedule otherwise. The top 50 players in Major League Baseball for the 2021 season coming at you very, very soon. Of course, we're taking in last year, we're taking in prior years, we're looking at the player as a whole, and of course, it has to be true to my rankings. So if I have a guy ranked ahead of someone at their position, that player is obviously going to be ranked higher. But as you guys know, with my top 50 rankings, I always want to know your guys' opinions. So not only get in the comment section down below and tell me what you think, but make sure you're tweeting me, sending me Instagram messages, whatever it is. Show me your top 50 list, because last year I reacted to viewers' top 50 lists and it was a great video. So I plan on doing that again. So make sure you send them to me, put them in the comment section, however you need to get them to me, do that. Make sure to drop a like on the video. I really would appreciate it. This one is always my big video of the year, so it would really help out the channel if you could drop a like. Subscribe if you have not yet done so. We're so close to 170K. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Have a Merry Christmas, guys, and enjoy the top 50 players in Major League Baseball. Getting my top 50 players in MLB list started at number 50, Alex Verdugo of the Boston Red Sox, one of the most underrated players in the league, had a great 2020 season and was good in 2019 with the Dodgers. He's finally going to start to get that playing time. We're going to see the offensive numbers improve. We know how good he is defensively, and he's going to be making the move to center field probably in 2021, and that's just going to make his value even better. Over the last two seasons, Verdugo's played in 159 games, 18 homers, 38 doubles, 59 RBIs, a 300 average, 351 on base, 476 slugging, 827 OPS, 118 OPS plus. Last year at 844 OPS, we saw the average, on base, slugging, everything improve once he got to Boston, and that was only in a small sample size. This guy is such a talented young player. I know you traded Mookie Betts for him, so it's a tough pill to swallow, but Alex Verdugo was a really good guy to get back. He's my number 50 player in Major League Baseball. For the one and only reliever in today's video, just like last year, coming in at number 49, I got Josh Hader of the Milwaukee Brewers. Josh Hader's just so incredibly good. He's unbelievable. We know how valuable a good reliever can be, and for Josh Hader, who can pitch multiple innings and just shut down, he's got to be inside the top 50. The guy just ends games. He's automatic. Last year, 3.79 ERA in 21 appearances, 19 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, 14.7 K per nine. He struck out just over a third of the batters he faced last year. He had a whip under 1. He doesn't give up any hits. He walked a few guys last year, but otherwise, Josh Hader was nasty as always, and that's all he's been his entire career. A 2.5 ERA in 223 innings, 15.3 K per nine, a K rate over a third for his career. Like, this guy's just so good. He has to be inside the top 50. And then cracking into the top 50 this year at number 48, I got Phillies pitcher Aaron Nola. Last year I kept him out. This year I'm putting him in. He is a top 50 player in Major League Baseball. He showed that again with the Phillies last year. 2018, everybody knows about his Cy Young year. It was fantastic. But 2019 took a little bit of a step back. Still good, but wasn't the Cy Young caliber. And then 2020, we found that in between. And I think that's the pitcher Aaron Nola is. A 3.28 ERA and 71 and a third innings pitched. A whip at 1.079. FIP 3.19. ERA plus 139. He struck out 96 batters of the 289 he faced. The strikeouts were up, the walks were down, the home runs were down, the hits were down. He finished 7th in the Cy Young voting casually. At only 28 years old, Aaron Nola is a great young talent, and he deserves to be in the top 50. Next up at number 47, another newcomer to the list, Chicago White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson. Last year was left off my list. I needed to see a little bit more, but after another strong 2020 season where he finished 7th in the MVP voting and won a Silver Slugger, Tim Anderson jumps into the number 47 spot. The last 2 years, funny enough, he's played about 172 games, 28 homers, 43 doubles, 77 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases, a 331 average, doesn't walk, so only a 357 on base with a 514 slugging, 871 OPS plus a 132. This guy would find himself higher up on the list if he had a better glove, but it's starting to improve a little bit, and he's just one of the most fun players in the league. This guy is must-watch baseball. After a disappointing 2020 season, coming in at number 46, I got Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I couldn't take him outside my top 50 just yet because of what he did in 2019. Like, I can't wrap my head around how good he was, and he was good the year before. 2020, I'm going to chalk it up to a weird year. The power was gone, only 2 homers and a 732 OPS, but combine it with 2019, and his last about 190 games, he still has an OPS at 921, 34 homers, 50 doubles, 319 average, 373 on base. He hits the ball so hard, just hit into a little bit of bad luck in 2020. He's still extremely talented, good player. I gotta keep him inside the top 50, even after a bad season. That potential is just too good. Next up at the number 45 spot, Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. Now, Rizzo is probably one of the most boring players in baseball. We know that, but every single year he's gonna go out and give you close to 30 homers, 30 doubles, close to 100 RBIs, and an OPS hovering right around 900 with good defense at first base. And while he didn't necessarily hit in 2020, because it seems like nobody on the Cubs did, he was still seen as an above average hitter at his position. He was good defensively, won a Gold Glove, and he's only 31 years old, so he's still in that prime. So I expect him to come back in 2021, another 30 and 30 season, 850, 900 OPS. He's the leader of that Chicago Cubs team. He's a good ball player. Even if he is boring, Anthony Rizzo's still inside the top 50. Another newcomer to the list coming in at number 44, Jeff McNeil of the New York York Mets. Love me some Jeff McNeil. This guy is such a good player, and all he's ever done since come up is play well. 2019 was really his breakout season, even though he was great in 2018 in 63 games. 23 homers, 38 doubles, a 916 OPS, 318 average. He's always going to be a high average guy, but the power came on. Now in 2020, he did have some early season struggles, which definitely affected his numbers, but still, despite not hitting well at the start of the year, he finished with a 311 average, 383 on base, 454 slugging, and a 536 OPS. Plays a good outfield, plays a good second base. He's an all-around good player. Jeff McNeil, friend of the channel, if he's watching this, what's up, Jeff? Number 44 on my list. 44th best player in Major League Baseball in my eyes. Down a couple spots, but still inside the top 50 at number 43, Walker Buehler of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, last year, he was the best pitcher on the Dodgers, but a little bit of a step back. He wasn't like fully healthy, didn't pitch a whole lot in 2020, but obviously he still got great stuff. Now, last year, the walks went up, the hits went down, and the home runs went up. So he was giving up the long ball a little bit more, but he was having some issues with his fingers and stuff with blisters, so it's expected that he's not going to pitch as sharp. All things considered, though, he's still a nasty pitcher in the league. I mean, a 3.44 ERA, a whip under 1. He's got some of the best stuff on the mound from a young starting pitcher. He's only going to be 26 years old. In that rotation, in that team, he's unbelievable. Walker Buehler, number 43. For the 42nd best player in Major League Baseball, the Jackie Robinson spot, I'm going to go with Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves. Now, 2020 wasn't fantastic for Ozzie Albies, but he missed a lot of games due to an injury, and he was trying to play through it. And even still then, he was about a league average hitter with a 773 OPS plus at 99. But what you get with Albies is a great glove. When he gets on base, he steals bases. He's a great base runner, good fielder, and he is a good hitter. 2019 and 18, we saw 24 homers and 40 doubles a season from him with 15 stolen bases, an OPS hovering right around 800. He's a complete player, and he's only 24 years old. This guy's just going to continue to get better. He hasn't even hit his physical prime yet, which scares me, because like if he's this good at 23, how good is he going to be in a couple years? Ozzie Albies, 42. Which now leads me to number 41, just missing out on the top 40, Carlos Correa of the Houston Astros. Correa, he's a hard player to rank, because you see what he did in 2019, but it was only for 75 games. But then you see what he did in 2017, and that was only for 155 games. This guy hasn't played a full season since 2016. He continues to miss games, continues to be hurt, and in 2020, he decided to be a villain with the Houston Astros whole cheating scandal, and it kind of backfired. Now, in the playoffs, he stepped up, but in the regular season, he was just okay. 5 homers, 9 doubles, 709 OPS, nothing to brag about, but we know the top-end quality and top-end performance he can put out on the field. We're just still kind of waiting to see at a consistent basis, which is why I have to keep him just outside the top 40. Which now leads me to the top 40, coming in at the 40 spot, Eugenio Suarez of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, from an outside perspective looking in, you might go, Eugenio Suarez didn't have a good year, 202 average, 312 on base, but he still finished with a 781 OPS, and OPS plus above 100, so he was above average, and he still hit 15 homers, 8 doubles. The glove, of course, is nothing to brag about at third base, but he's got some of the best raw power at the third base position in Major League Baseball, just hits balls so hard. 49 homers the year before, 34 the year before that. In a year that was weird, in a year that nobody hit on the Reds, I'm not going to punish him too hard for still being above average. Eugenio Suarez is going to come in at number 40. For the 39th best player in Major League Baseball, I got Eugenio Suarez's former teammate Trevor Bauer, who's not on a team right now. But boy, is he going to get paid this offseason. Coming off a Cy Young season in 2020, 11 starts, a 1.73 ERA, a whip at .795, all led the National League. National League best ERA +2 at 276. Hits per 9 were 5.1, led all of baseball, struck out over a third of the batters he faced, didn't walk anybody. I mean, he was just a man on a warpath. He's going to be 30 years old. This guy doesn't ever get arm injuries. He had a bit of a shaky year in 2019, but the year before that, he arguably could have won the Cy Young as well. We know how good Trevor Bauer can be. He definitely deserves to be inside this top 50. The guy's got filthy stuff, and he just shoves. Another newcomer to the top 50 this year, at the number 38 spot, Marcell Ozuna, formerly of the Atlanta Braves. Yep, Marcell Ozuna's back. 2020, he went off. 18 homers, 14 doubles, 56 RBIs, and a 1067 OPS. As the DH, he was in conversations for the MVP. Anytime that happens, that's impressive, especially with the guy who is the MVP on your team, and Ronald Acuna. He was that good. We saw him get back to those days like he was in Miami, and even when he was in St. Louis, while the numbers weren't as good as you once thought, still getting about 25 homers and 20 doubles a year in what would be considered down years for Marcell Ozuna. So this guy's an incredible hitter, not much of a fielder, but that bat plays about anywhere, and I'll take him on my team any day. At number 37, I got another pitcher from the Los Angeles Dodgers here, Clayton Kershaw. You guys know I love to rag on Kershaw on Twitter, but obviously I give him the utmost respect in my rankings and in my videos because he's probably the greatest pitcher I've ever seen pitch in my lifetime. While he's no longer this 300 strikeout a year pitcher, he's still incredibly good and very, very productive. 2019, people said down year, still had a 3 flat ERA. 2020, again, a quietly good year, 2.16 ERA, whip at .840, 3.31 whip, 3.31 FIP, striking out just over a quarter of the batters he faced, doesn't walk anybody, doesn't give up hits. Like, I just don't know why people think Clayton Kershaw's washed. And that's ridiculous because by no means is he washed. He's just a different pitcher now, and it's still pretty good. Still one of the best in the league. At the number 36 spot, he's back, Paul Goldschmidt. I'm so excited that he's back. Paul Goldschmidt was one of my favorite players in the majors, super underrated when he was in Arizona, and even though his numbers in 2019 weren't like Arizona, he was still incredibly good, but he got better in 2020. He's back. 6 homers, 13 doubles, 21 RBIs, a 304 average, 417 on base. There's that on base that we've been waiting for with him. 466 slugging to 883 OPS. While he might not have the power numbers that he once had in Arizona because he does play in St. Louis, it's good to see the average back. It's good to see the on-base percentage back, and it's good to see that he's playing high-level baseball because he is one of the more talented first basemen in the league. Does it all. Paul Goldschmidt's a stud. Next up, we've got the second highest ranked DH in my video for today, JD Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. Now, 2020 is going to be a year JD wants to forget, but he also kind of just was on the Red Sox and they weren't very good. But even then, still managed to hit 7 homers and 16 doubles. It's just the offensive numbers weren't great with the 680 OPS. But what am I going to do? Ignore the years before? I mean, the last 3 seasons combined, an OPS above 1,000, 388 on base, 619 slugging. I don't care what he did in 2020. It was 54 games. Give this guy a full season and he's going to be one of the best hitters in baseball. He's just a DH, so he doesn't have any value outside of his bat. And even then, still good. Number 35. At number 34, maybe a little underappreciated last year by me because he wasn't in my top 50, I got Yasmani Grandal of the Chicago White Sox. The second best catcher in baseball. Some people can make the argument that he might be the best catcher in baseball. Not in my eyes, but that's a fair argument. And his value is just unmatched, really. Besides Real Muto, there's no one else even close. From 2016 to 19, he was averaging 25 homers, 20 doubles, 69 RBIs, nice, and an 814 OPS while playing great defense behind the plate, a great framer. And in 2020, he basically did the same thing in a new league, never played in the American League before, still managed to have a 773 OPS, above average for catchers, walked at an extremely high rate, 230 average, 351 on base. While the power numbers were a little bit down, it's because he only did play in 46 games, getting used to that new ballpark, and the defense obviously is always still there for Grandal, coming in at number 34. Dropping down quite a bit in my rankings, at number 33, Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. Now, let me just tell you this, I don't only value 2020, which is why he's still in my top 50, because all the years before that, while there was some cheating going on in some of them, he clearly is an elite hitter. 2019 and 903 OPS, 837 in 2018, and then anything before that, like, it's tough to really judge how good he was because, of course, the trash can banging. But still, I'm not going to punish Jose Altuve too much. I think putting him at the number 33 spot is fair based on his abysmal 2020. Like a 629 OPS and a 219 average, that's just not the Jose Altuve we know. Of course, if he has another bad year, this guy's getting kicked out of the top 50, but I don't expect that from Altuve. He's been too good of a hitter in the past to just stink now. But boy, I'm pissed at him for cheating. I really like this guy, the little engine that could, but he let me down. For the 32nd best player in Major League Baseball, American League MVP of the 2020 season, Jose Abreu, Chicago White Sox. There is a group of people that don't like Jose Abreu. Too bad. I do. Jose Abreu is good. All he's ever done is hit. I don't understand why people don't like him. Who cares he doesn't play good defense at first base? It's first base. When you hit like Jose Abreu has, doesn't matter. Sure, 18 and 19 weren't his best years, but in 2020 he went off, and the years before that he went off, and even still then, in 2018 and 19, he was good. This is a guy for who his career, 7 years, 870 OPS, an OPS plus at 136, 520 slugging, 350 on base, 294 average, averaging 33 homers and 39 doubles a season. I can't get enough of Jose Abreu. He's so good, so underappreciated. And then just missing out on the top 30, at the number 31 spot, my favorite number, Nelson Cruz. Like a fine wine, Nelson Cruz seems to be getting better with age. Yes, I'm taking it from Verlander, putting it on Nelson Cruz, because Verlander just isn't going to play next year. I gotta say it at some point in these videos. But seriously, he's getting better as he gets older. 2019, unbelievable season, 120 games, 1031 OPS, and he continued to be great in 2020. 16 homers, 6 doubles, 33 RBIs, and 992 OPS, 6th in the MVP voting. As a 39, 40-year-old man, going into his 41-year-old season, I see no signs of him slowing down. All he does is mash, and DH is the perfect position for him. Just let him hit. That's it. That's all you need. And he's a top 50 player in the league, almost top 30 in my eyes. Those pregame naps, they're working. Every player should be doing that in baseball. Which now leads me to the top 30, getting us started. Michael Conforto of the New York Mets. You better start appreciating Michael Conforto around the league because this guy is a stud. Since 2017, 265 average, 369 on base, 495 slugging, 864 OPS, with a 162 game average of 34 homers, 30 doubles, 95 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases, walking 87 times. He gets on base. In right field, he's a little bit sketchy out there. He's not the best, but he's not the worst. But this guy can swing the bat, takes the ball to all fields, and we really saw him go back to being that pure hitter that we once thought he was with the Mets. Hit 322 last year with a 412 on base, 515 slugging, and 927 OPS. Like, he's just so good. He's disgusting. And he's only 28 years old. Michael Conforto inside the top 30. Coming in at the number 29 spot, Corey Seager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who had a fantastic 2020 and has shown that he's back when he's healthy. Now, Dodgers fans, I know you're going to be upset. Oh, why is he not higher? It still was only 52 games. And the year before, he played 134 and was really good. 19 homers, 44 doubles, 817 OPS. Really good. But he's only put up about a 52 game stretch of being this unbelievably elite hitter. Otherwise, he's a good offensive shortstop, average glove. I think 29's a very fair spot for him. We're not going to overreact to him winning the World Series MVP, and we're not going to overreact to 52 games. He is a good player. hitter, he is a top 30 player in the league. Corey Seager at number 29. He's so good. Dropping down a few spots in my rankings from last year, at number 28, Mad Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals. Now, part of the reason for Scherzer's drop in my list, of course, is he's going to be going into his 38-year-old season, and he did have a little bit worse of a 2020 year. He's not getting any younger. But Mad Max, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he just comes out and doesn't give up a run all of next year. He's that good. He's crazy. There's no signs of him being bad. He's still elite. It's just he has to go down a little bit more. Guys are getting better. He's getting older. 2020 had a 3.74 ERA, which we haven't seen since 2012. A whip at 1.381. Again, haven't seen that since 2012. FIP at 3.46. Still striking out a ton of batters, just under about a third of the batters that he faces. 12.3 K per 9, 1.3 home runs, 3.1 walks, 9.4 hits. I think it was more so of a season where he just didn't care. COVID, they just won the World Series, a little bit of a hangover, but obviously Max Scherzer's still elite and gets inside the top 30. Another dropper on my list at number 27, Javi Baez of the Chicago Cubs. I can't keep this guy where he was previously ranked based on that 2020 season. He was horrendous. Now, one thing that hasn't changed is that glove. That glove and his base running is phenomenal, arguably some of the best in the league. As a hitter, I still think he's a good hitter, but we did see him in 2020 struggle massively. I mean, like really, really bad. 8 homers, 9 doubles, 24 RBIs doesn't sound bad, but a 203 average, 238 on base, 360 slugging, 599 OPS. That's easily the worst season of his career. Haven't seen him play that bad since 2014 when he was 21. So weird season. He's still obviously got that immense talent. I can't forget what he did in the past, but I also have to acknowledge what I saw in those 60 games, and it wasn't great. Javi Baez number 27 nonetheless because he was that good in the past. And then just missing on my top 25 at number 26, the most underrated player in baseball in my eyes, Trey Turner. This guy did not make the all MLB first or second team, and arguably could have been on the all MLB first team. That's how good his season was in 2020. 12 homers, 15 doubles, 4 triples, and 41 RBIs with 12 stolen bases. Major League Baseball best 78 hits, 335 average, 394 on base, 588 slugging, and 982 OPS from Trey Turner. This is from Trey Turner. Those are some big boy numbers. I think we're really starting to see Trey Turner hit that prime of his going into his 28-year-old season. The power numbers are going to be up. Plays a pretty good shortstop. This guy is incredibly talented. When he's on the field, he makes the Washington Nationals significantly better and was a huge part of the reasons why they were able to have that run in 2019 and eventually win the World Series. Incredible player, super undervalued, super underrated. I got him at number 26. This dude is just so good. Which leads me now to number 25, getting the top 25 started, JT Realmuto of nobody, formerly of the Phillies. The combination of JT Realmuto's bat, glove, and speed makes him an elite player. Makes him the best catcher in baseball in my eyes, and it gets him inside the top 25 in all of baseball. Tough for catchers to be ranked this high, but when you look at this dude, incredible framer, just like hits the ball well, an 840 OPS last year, 820 the year before, 825. I mean, ever since he's come up, he's been a good hitter. He's been getting better defensively. He's really good. Like, yes, he's not going to put up these 30 homers, 40 double seasons, but that's because he plays catcher. You put up the offense that he does with that glove, you're an elite player. Next up at the number 24 spot, I got Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox. What Xander lacks in his glove, he makes up for in his hitting. His hitting is absolutely elite, and we've seen that over the last 3 seasons. 2020, another strong year, 11 homers, 8 doubles, 28 RBIs, and stole 8 bases, 300 average, 364 on base, 502 slugging, 867 OPS. Over the last 3 years, we got a guy who's got a 907 OPS and averaging 32 homers and 50 doubles over 162 game seasons. Gross. Nasty. And he doesn't strike out a lot and walks. The only thing to not like about is his glove, and let me tell you, if he could field, this dude has potential to be a top 10 player because his bat is just that good. But he lacks the glove, lacks the speed, which hurts him a little bit, but still 24. Coming in at the number 23 spot, that's going to bother some people because they just like have this infatuation with him. 23 is still very good. He's a great third baseman. 2020 played in 37 games, 10 homers, 9 doubles, 25 RBIs, a 232 average, 276 on base, 535 slugging, 812 OPS. So despite not getting on base, still had an OPS above 800. We know how gross his glove is. Disgusting out at third base. He's just gross. Possibly the best defensive third baseman in the game. It's him and Nolan Arenado up there. Hits for power every year except last year, got on base. There's nothing not to like about Matt Chapman. It's just I don't think he's the best third baseman in baseball, and I think there's guys at his position that are better than him right now, but he's only 28 years old. I'm excited to see where his future goes. He comes at the number 23 spot. For number 22, I'm going to go with George Springer of, well, he's not signed to a team, but wow, George Springer's good. Since 2017, his 162 game average is 40 homers and 29 doubles a season with 102 RBIs and an 879 OPS with a 364 on base. Oh man, that's so good. Last year, he was great as well, coming off of an insanely strong year in 2019. You combine the two together, 173 games, 53 homers, 26 doubles, 128 RBIs, and a 953 OPS. He's no longer truly a great defensive center fielder. Still good out there. Probably plays more as a right fielder, but look at those numbers offensively. Wow, George Springer, number 22. And then just missing out on the top 20 at number 21, I got DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees. DJ had another great year in 2020. 10 homers, 10 doubles, 2 triples, and 27 RBIs. Led all of baseball in average at 364, American League best on base at 421, slugging 590, and a 1011 OPS. Gross. Absolutely insane. Since coming to the Yankees, he's been a different player. But with a lot of the guys ahead of him, him, we have seen multiple years of being elite. DJ LeMahieu has been elite since coming to the Yankees. Right now, he's not on a team, so that's yet to be seen where he'll play baseball in 2021, but obviously he's really good. It's just that this top 20 is loaded. The glove, the bat, everything. He's a good player. We're talking about the best players in baseball. 21 is a completely fair spot for him based on the last 2 years and what we've seen in Colorado before. LeMahieu comes in at 21. Getting the top 20 started, Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians. Now remember how good LeMahieu's numbers were? Listen to Jose Ramirez's, and this is over a 4-year stretch. Over these 4 years, he has a 917 OPS, 284 average, 367 on base, 549 slugging, averaging 27 homers, 36 doubles a season, 21 stolen bases, and that's with 58 games in 2020. If you give him a 162 game average, that's 36 homers, 47 doubles, 28 stolen bases, 917 OPS, striking out, walking almost as many times as he strikes out. I mean, this guy is so good, so underappreciated. His glove, it could get better at third base, but that bat is just ridiculous. And he did it again in 2020. And even in 2019, the numbers are a little low, only because he wasn't playing great the first half of the year, and then he went off and got hurt. Ramirez, though, is so crazy good, number 20. And then dropping down my list to number 19, Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros. I had him inside my top 10 last year, but I have to drop him down. Saw a really bad year in 2020 from him, and I don't know, the cheating thing, I think with Astros players, I have to be a little tougher when they have a bad year after the cheating scandal came out. Even then, though, Alex Bregman was still good. 6 homers, 12 doubles, 22 RBIs, a 242 average, which, not getting as many hits, 350 on base, 451 slugging, 801 OPS. So we saw all the numbers go down from his previous years, but was still a good season, still plays a good third base. This is a guy who will shoot right back up my rankings if he plays good in 2021, but over that 42 game stretch wasn't great. Still, though, good enough to keep him inside the top 20. Coming in at number 18, possibly the biggest riser in today's video, Shane Bieber of the Cleveland Indians. Wow, he's so good. He struck out over 40% of the batters he faced last year as a starting pitcher, won the Cy Young. He won the pitching triple crown in 2020, 8-1 record, 1.63 ERA, led all of baseball, 122 strikeouts, 2.07 FIP, 281 ERA plus 0.866 WHIP, 14.2 Ks per 9, 5.4 hits per 9. This guy is incredibly nasty, and he had a good 2019 as well, finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. People need to start recognizing that he is one of the best pitchers in baseball and is making an argument to get in the conversation as the best pitcher. If he does this for another season, it's going to be hard to keep this guy outside the top 2, let alone number 1 spot. Shane Bieber is so incredibly good. I'm a believer in Shane Bieber, number 18 in baseball. Another big riser in today's video, at number 17, Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres. Machado was in the 40 range last year because he did have a bit of a down year in San Diego, and I was a little scared. But 2020, he answered all my questions. In 60 games, 16 homers, 12 doubles, 47 RBIs, and he stole 6 bases, 304 average, 370 on base, 580 slugging, 950 OPS, finished 3rd in the MVP voting. Ooh, that's the Manny Machado we remember and love. And he's also nasty in the field. I mean, this guy does pretty much everything. Now, you might hate him as a person because that's understandable. He's unlikable. But on the field, if he plays like he did in San Diego in 2020, and honestly, even in 2019, not a bad year, he's an elite player in the game. Manny Machado's definitely inside the top 20, safely at number 17. Next up at number 16, I believe staying at the exact same spot as last year, Trevor Story. I feel like he pretty much had the exact same year. Still good in the field, still good base runner, and still hit well. 11 homers, 13 doubles, 4 triples, and 28 RBIs with a National League best 15 stolen bases, 289 average, 355 on base, 519 slugging, 874 OPS, finished 11th in the MVP voting. He just does the same stuff that he does every year. Trevor Story is a really good player. Who cares he plays in Colorado? Don't care about the Coors effect with him. He'll play anywhere with that glove, with that speed, with that power. He's a really talented player. Jumping up a few spots at number 15, Bryce Harper of the Phillies. Bryce Harper's good, boys. He's really good. He went from being one of the more overrated players in baseball to possibly one of the more underrated players in baseball because people think he is overrated. It's a complicated system, but he's really good. That's all you need to know. 2020, 13 homers, 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 33 RBIs with 8 stolen bases. Led the majors in walks with 49 walks and only struck out 43 times, which is huge. 268 average, 420 on base, 542 slugging, and 962 OPS plus 157, and he's playing good defense in right field. This is the $300 million man the Philadelphia Phillies paid for. It's just a shame that they're not going to have any good players around him because they're poor now. But man, Bryce Harper is getting scary good again. After a strong 2019 with the Phillies, after a strong 2018, after a strong 2017, I mean, this guy's a top 15 player in the league for a reason. He's nasty. Coming into number 14 spot, Garrett Cole of the New York Yankees. Now, I know he's down a few spots and he still had a really good year in 2020, but it wasn't as good as the 19 and 18 season, and even still then, he's the 14th best player in baseball. That's gross. 2.84 ERA on the season with a whip under 1, 73 innings pitched, struck out just under a third of the batters he faced, 11.6 K per 9, 2.1 walks, 6.5 hits, and 1.7 home runs. Good enough to finish 4th in the Cy Young voting in his first year in Yankee Stadium in a weird season. He did pretty well for himself. I'm not going to punish him too hard. In fact, I don't really even feel like I punished him. 14th is a very fair rating. And then down a couple spots to number 13, another New York Yankee, Aaron Judge. Now, the reason he's down a couple spots is because of the health. The guy had another season where he didn't play a lot of games. He missed more than half the games this year in 2020. And while he was great in those games that he did play, sometimes one of the more important abilities is availability, and Aaron Judge just misses a lot of games. Missed 50 in 2018, missed 60 in 2019, and missed 32 in 2020. He's almost missed a full major league season's worth of games over the last 3. That's a lot of games for me to miss, and if he's gonna get into that top 10, he has the top 10 ability. There's no doubt in my mind. As a sheer talent guy, he's a top 10 player, but because of the lack of him being on the field, I just can't put him inside the top 10 when guys are doing that, getting on the field every game and playing lights out. So Aaron Judge for me comes at number 13 because he's a beast, and he'll easily be inside the top 10 when he puts together a healthy season because his numbers are that good. At number 12, so close to the top 10, Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves. National League MVP, finally he got one. He's been such a good player for Atlanta for years now. Since 2016, he's been the best first baseman in baseball, and he continued to be a beast in 2020 after getting COVID. It made him stronger, I think. 13 homers, 23 doubles, a triple, and 53 RBIs on the season with a 341 on base, 462, with a 341 batting average, 462 on base, 640 slugging, and 1102 OPS. Oh my God. He plays a good first base, Silver Slugger, MVP, he's a leader of the team. He'll play third base if you want him to. There's literally no reason to not like Freddie Freeman, number 12. And then just missing out on the top 10, coming in at number 11, Anthony Rendon of the Los Angeles Angels. Another fantastic year by Rendon, following up the strong 2019 where he could have won the MVP in the National League. He's just been incredible since 2017. Last year, 9 homers, 11 doubles, 31 RBIs, a 286 average, 418 on base, 497 slugging, and 915 OPS. While changing leagues, new pitchers, he still hit at a top level, and he's going to continue to hit at a high level for a long time, especially with Trout and Ohtani surrounding him in that lineup. Boy, he's going to have some fun years. The reason he's outside the top 10 is just that glove. Good fielder, not elite. If he had that glove like some of these guys inside the top 10 had, he gets here. But even then, at number 11, I mean, come on, 11th best player in baseball to team up with Mike Trout? That's an insane lineup out in Anaheim. Now, for my top 10 players in Major League Baseball, at the number 10 spot, Fernando Tatis Jr. Yeah, I mean, he has to be in the top 10. In the 143 games he's played, 39 homers, 24 doubles, 8 triples, 98 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases. What are those numbers? What are those numbers for a shortstop? Not to mention with the glove, oh, he's nasty. I know, 2019 he had a bad year defensively, but that's because of throwing errors. And what do you know? Like I told you, he fixed them. And he was gross in 2020 with the glove because the throwing errors were gone. 301 average, 374 on base, 582 slugging, and a 956 OPS, 154 OPS plus. I mean, gross. And he's only 21. How is that possible? Fernando Tatis Jr., top 10 player in the league. And honestly, he puts up another season next year of these numbers. He's probably like top 3-4 players in the league. Next up at the number 9 spot, my highest ranked shortstop of the video. You know I love him, Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians for now. While Tatis is on track to pass him next year, Francisco Lindor is still the best shortstop in baseball. While 2020 wasn't his best season, 8 homers, 13 doubles, 27 RBIs, and a 750 OPS, still an OPS plus above 100. The years before I can't ignore. 30 homers, 40 doubles a season, stealing 20 plus bags, 278 average, 342 on base, 514 slugging, 856 OPS plus at 122. I mean, like, Francisco Lindor is just so good. He's getting underappreciated now. People don't think he's that good. I don't know why. Probably because of the 60 games, but like, you're an idiot if you think that. The glove is nasty. He's beat Andrelton Simmons in Andrelton Simmons' prime for gold gloves at that position. Runs the bases well. Hits for power. Switch hitter. I don't know what you want more from Francisco Lindor. He's a beast. Number 9 player in the league, best shortstop. Coming in at the number 8 spot, down a few from last year, Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies. 2020, wow, bad year. Let's forget about it, Nolan. Still great with the glove, but a 738 OPS in Coors is not good. But what am I going to throw away all the years that he had before where he was filthy? From 2015 to 2019, his average a season was 40 homers, 38 doubles, 124 RBIs, a 300 average, 362 on base, 575 slugging, and 937 OPS. Yes, these numbers are going to be a little inflated by Coors, but he is still going to be an elite hitter at the third base position, even if he doesn't play there. And that glove, in my eyes, is the best in baseball. So Nolan Arenado for me, easy choice inside my top 10 at number 8. The highest ranked pitcher coming in at the 7th best player in Major League Baseball, New York Mets ace Jacob deGrom. Yeah, like, Jacob deGrom's just so good. Even as a pitcher, he cracks the top 10, the only pitcher to do so because he is that good. Back-to-back Cy Young awards in 2018 and 19 in full seasons, pitching over 200 innings a year for 3 straight years. And in 2020, he almost won the Cy Young again and arguably got better. 2.38 ERA in 68 innings, striking out 104 batters in the National League, best in the league, a K rate of almost 40%, 13.8 K per 9, a whip under 1, FIP 2.26, and he was throwing 102 miles an hour last year. Like, how does he do it? At 33 years old, he might be getting better. Jacob deGrom, definitely a top 10 player in the league, the best pitcher in baseball without a doubt, number 7 overall. Just missing out on the top 5 at number 6, I got Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers. Down year for Yelich, but still pretty good, still above average. Just wasn't the Yelich we'd seen the 2 prior years, but he also had no protection in the order last year, and it was COVID. Plus, he also got like a lot of looking strikeouts last year, which so like the umpires could have been screwing him over. So I'll make all the excuses in the book for him because he's number 6 after 786 OPS year, because the years before that, well, he was an MVP in 2018 and could have won and maybe should have won the MVP in 2019, averaging 40 homers, 32 doubles, 5 triples, 104 RBIs, and 26 stolen bases a season, 327 average, 415 on base, 631 slugging, and 1046 OPS, OPS plus 171. Yeah, I don't think I need to say more. Drop the mic there. Christian Yelich, 6th best. Now, to start the top 5, at the number 5 spot, maybe a little controversial, Cody Bellinger of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, I know Yelich is the better hitter, but here's what separates Bellinger from Christian Yelich. His glove is disgusting. He might be the best defensive center fielder in all of baseball. Cannon of an arm, he has incredible range, and he just makes plays. Who would have thought Cody Bellinger, the first base prospect, would become an elite defensive center fielder? Not to mention, he does have a good bat. For his career, a 911 OPS. Like, obviously, we know how good he was in his Rookie of the Year season. 2018 wasn't his best, but still very good. And 2019 won the MVP with 47 homers, 115 RBIs, and a 1035 OPS. Insane. 2020, down year, 12 homers, 10 doubles, 30 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases with a 789 OPS, but still pretty good. And with that glove in center field, he keeps himself in that elite category for sure. I got him as the 5th best player in baseball. Now, for number 4, big jump from last year, Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. I'm ready to put him inside the top 5, and I'm ready to put him at number 4. Ronald Acuna is just so good. Even after a slow start to the season last year, finished with a 987 OPS, arguably the best season of his career. 14 homers, 11 doubles, 29 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases, 250 average, 406 on base. He was getting on base at a fantastic rate, 581 slugging, so we saw him improve his power and his eye at the plate. This guy's only getting better, and he's only 22. He hasn't hit his physical prime yet. Oh yeah, did I mention he runs like a gazelle? Ronald Acuna is so nasty, so good. He's going to be a problem for teams in the National League East for a long time, and I got him as the 4th best player in baseball. For the 3rd best player in Major League Baseball, one of my favorite guys to watch, even though he plays on a rival team, Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals. Oh my goodness, the NL East outfield is stacked. We just talked about Acuna, let's talk about Soto, who's just even better. While he may not be the athlete that Acuna is, at the plate, he's unmatched. He's getting into the absolutely best of the best category. He's the 3rd best player in my eyes, and he's only 22. Only 22 years old. Last year in 47 games, 13 homers, 14 doubles, 37 RBIs, and he stole 6 bases, walking 41 times and only striking out 28. Ridiculous. 351 average, 490 on base. I mean, 490 on base, that doesn't even make sense. 695 slugging, 1185 OPS, OPS plus a 212. If the Nationals made the playoffs, I bet you he wins the MVP. Freddie Freeman deserved it, but man, these numbers from Juan Soto, it's hard to argue against. And the years before that, 949 OPS, 923 OPS. His career slash line in 3 seasons, 313 games, 295, 415, 557, and 972. That's just not even fair. 162 game average of 36 homers, 37 doubles, 112 RBIs, walking almost as many times as he strikes out. Juan Soto is somehow going to get better next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. He's the 3rd best player in baseball at 22 years old, which means just missing out at the number 1 spot. Coming in at number 2, Mookie Betts of the Los Angeles Dodgers for a 2nd straight year. Nobody's dethroning Mookie from the number 2 spot. Even as good as Juan Soto and Acuna are, what they don't have is that glove. Mookie is just as good offensively, and he's got that glove out in the outfield. 2020 finished 2nd in the MVP voting with the Dodgers, 16 homers, 9 doubles, 39 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases, hitting 292 with a 366 on base, 562 slugging, and 927 OPS, OPS plus 149. He's the best defensive outfielder arguably in baseball. His right field is just amazing. The home run robin, everything he does out there is fantastic. Great at the plate, great eye. He does everything you want, and another one of these super young, talented players at only 28 years old, just got paid by the Dodgers for good reason. He is the 2nd best player in baseball. Won an MVP in 2018. Had a 915 OPS in 2019. Like, there's just nothing you can't like about Mookie Betts. He's unbelievable. And then, of course, coming in at number 1 as the best player in all of baseball, Mike Trout. Now, I could have just ended the video there because there really is no explanation as to why Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. If you don't know that by now, I've failed you as a YouTuber. I've failed you as a fan of baseball. Everybody in baseball should be telling everybody they know about how good Mike Trout is. This guy is going to go down probably as the greatest player of all time. Since his first full season in Major League Baseball at the age of 20, 2012 to 2019, he averaged 35 homers, 31 doubles, and 24 stolen bases a year with an OPS above 1,000. 308 batting average, 422 on base, 587 slug. 162 game average from that time was 40 homers, 35 doubles, and 28 stolen bases. Like, just so good. And then 2020, he actually had a down year, only finished 5th in the MVP voting, and still had a 993 OPS, 17 homers, 9 doubles, 46 RBIs, 281 average, 390 on base, 603 slug. Remember, that's a down year for Mike Trout. 28 years old going into his 29-year-old season. He's won 3 MVPs, never finished lower than 5th in the voting. Mike Trout, hands down the best player in baseball. I don't need to even explain this anymore. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. And I feel bad for you because you should know. He is easily, by and large, the best player in Major League Baseball, might be be the best player to ever have played the game. So those are my rankings for the top 50 players in Major League Baseball. I want to know what you think. I want to know what your list look like. Get in the comment section below. Tweet me, send me messages, get your opinions to me. I want to know them. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. Remember, my Twitter and Instagram are in the description down below. GiraffeNeckMarc. Seriously, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the amazing support over the year. I really do appreciate it. Another successful years of the 12 days of MLB rankings. Even with a couple hiccups there, we still went pretty smoothly, and I couldn't have done this without you guys. So thank you for the amazing support. Thank you for the likes, the views, all that stuff. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I'm sure there's still gonna be some videos rolling out until the new year, but of course we are gonna take it a little bit easier now, give myself a little bit of a break before we go hard in 2021. So one last time again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody out there. I'm gonna wrap the video up here today. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video, and this is my top 50 rankings from last year if you want to watch that. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you all, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.